What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Coffee with Dudes. As always, we got our coffee and we are back with a good one today. So I'll just pop right into it. So today, what we're going to talk about is some of the most controversial current events in health and fitness over the last 3 months. So I plugged this into ChatGPT and we're just going to run through this list and kind of give our opinions. We encourage you to give your opinions in the chat as well. Comment what you think on these. And first one, Matt, is the enhanced games. So the steroid Olympics. Have you heard of this?
I heard a little bit about it, but as far as like just what you said right there, that's all I really know. Like I don't know any further
Yeah.
details. What about you? Like what are some of the nitty gritty about this?
I don't know a ton. It's like just athletes are allowed to use performance enhancing drugs under medical supervision. So
Okay.
supporters of this are arguing it's more honest than the current anti-doping system.
I
Well,
was just gonna say it's just more of like it's more
yeah.
of just putting it out in the open versus people like trying to have to hide it, you know? Like
Well, I mean, I think it's interesting. I don't know exactly what they're going to be competing in necessarily. Let me see if I can find a little bit more. So it's like, yeah, okay. There's like swimming, track and field, weightlifting, strongman. It's happening in, oh, might have already happened. Is it May? It said May 24th. So it may have already happened. And this has not really been on my radar. I totally have seen it, but I think, I mean, shit, like if it's so these days, like people want to, like they're trying to sneakily figure out ways to do these things. I think it could, like from an outside perspective, be very interesting to watch nonetheless. Like whether it's healthy, I would say probably
yeah,
not, but,
yeah.
but
From
I
a
think it could
perspective,
be
like
interesting, you know?
dude, from a viewer standpoint, I think it's going to be awesome. Their records are going to be smashed, like broken. You know, it's just like it's going to be fun to watch from a spectator standpoint. The other side of the coin is like, well, let's make sure that and as long as like these athletes are willingly doing it, and they're just like, yeah, I'm willing to sign up for that kind of doing this to my body and the risks that come along with it, etc. There's always that side of it too, where it's like even if it's under like doctor supervision, it's just like what are the long-term effects of those people doing it? But from a spectator standpoint, it's going to be super fun to watch.
Yeah, and it already happened. So
Oh, it did.
organizers put up $25 million in total prize money, offering a $1 million bonus specifically for breaking established world records. So, I mean, shit, if somebody's already doing steroids and like, why not enter into this and give it a
What were
shot?
the events? Like what were the events? Were they everything or like what?
Yeah, we're doing, it looks like from what I can see, they had swimming, track and field, and weightlifting. Those are the
Uh,
main things, which I'm interested. Obviously with track and field, swimming, I feel like depending on genetics, like people could crush other people that aren't doing steroids. Weightlifting is where I would imagine it the dispersion will start to last. Because I mean, like steroids, there's obviously the strength output, but I mean, a lot of it is just how much quickly you recover. Right? It's
yeah.
like because I mean, I always was confused. Sometimes you'll get these guys in MLB that get busted for steroids or PEDs, and it's like D Gordon. Remember D Gordon got
Yeah.
busted for
Yeah.
steroids,
A little
and it's
small
like
guy.
my thought growing up was like Barry Bonds, Mark
Yeah.
McGuire, Sammy Sosa, all these
Yeah.
huge guys that like went from being twigs to just jacked and like hitting
Yeah.
60 home runs a year. Then you
Yeah.
get D Gordon, and it's like, I mean, he's not even he hit one home run that like it's
Yeah.
like it's the recovery of
Yeah.
162 games and being able to constantly play, right? So,
Yeah.
but interesting stuff there. I didn't realize that already happened, but I
So
mean,
I'm
I would
assuming,
say,
does it say details as far as like if world records were broken, like how many? Does it say any of that?
oh, um,
Like I wonder if, because if for an extra
trying
million
to
dollars, you're giving people incentive, right? To be like, okay, I'm gonna hit this as hard as I can.
It looks like some guy beat the current non-drug assisted world record for the 50-meter freestyle. Um, yeah,
Dang.
I would have to look into it a little bit more. I mean, I just popped this up right now, so this wasn't like
Yeah,
we just
it's
kind of like went through. It looks like swimming. Um, they're probably just kind of working out the kinks at this point. But I mean, I would say that this is like from a viewer standpoint, definitely interesting and probably fun to watch. But from a health perspective, it
yeah,
I don't
cannot be
know.
good.
Maybe
I
it'll
get I
encourage
get all
more.
three of those sports though. Like those all three make sense. You know, like
Mhm.
the drugs and swimming. Like again, you're not trying to get super big and bulky for swimming, right? It's not necessarily going to help you, but there's a lot of other things that can be beneficial from it that can give you an edge in the water to be able to swim faster. You're stronger. You're going to be leaner naturally. Like you're going to recover, so your training volume can go up. Like all those things. Weightlifting super obvious. You're just like, okay, yeah, like that's a given one. And
Yeah,
then the other one was track and field too, which people have already got caught doping in track and field, obviously. So it's like, okay, if those are like three common sports that have proven to already have the drugs in them and pretty consistently, and people getting caught, just like, why not just let them do it and see what happens and just create an event out of it? I get it. There's two sides to it, right? There's two sides of being like, we
is
should
the
probably not, and then the others is just like, well, if they're going to do it anyways, we might as well just turn it into a spectator thing.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I think that's the good that's their perspective. That's one. Then the other one, like I just worry about like how many more kids are gonna be like incentivized to
Oh
do this.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
they watch it and they're like, oh, I want to do that. Like
right.
it gives almost like a thing for people. Now there's a new Olympics for people to work towards, right? Where it's like, is that beneficial? Probably not. That's kind of where my head goes. You know, it's
Yeah, it
fun,
almost turns it into like,
but it's also like I don't really think that's really good for the industry.
yeah, it turns it into like the same structure that like the bodybuilding scene is, right? Now you have
Yeah.
like the, hey, non-tested, take whatever you want, Arnold Classic, like all these versus like, drug tested bodybuilding shows, naturals only, polygraphs included, blood tests, all that, so it's like, it's almost becoming like that same structure, which then again, like, to your point, it's like we see it now, like kids in social media, because now you get paid through social media, and it's just like, dang, dude, they're taking stuff as teenagers, right? Not even hitting their maximum potential yet, like naturally, and they're just on juice, and they're building their social following and doing it and getting paid, and so it's just like, oh man, yeah, and that's such a small window. That's such a small window to be like quote unquote successful in and like really put your foot on the gas, especially when your body hasn't reached its full natural potential yet, and you're just like setting yourself up for who knows what. Like you don't even know. They're
Yeah.
just they're using it from the perspective of like, well, I know this is going to allow me to do XYZ. I'm going to go ahead and just pursue that as fast as I possibly can without any like long-term thought or approach about it, which is super unfortunate. It sucks. So yeah, to your point, there's that other side of it too, where it's just like, well, who is getting inspired? Who is seeing this? Who is watching it? For us, we're just like, okay, we're past that stage. Like we're, but to your point, the younger crowd who's on the upcoming and they get to make decisions now, like their decisions can be skewed based off what we have this new, I don't know, steroid Olympics now. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Well, a lot of things to think about. Let us know your guys' thoughts in the comments. One more we'll go through here on this pod
yeah.
is, and this is one I think you can probably speak to a little bit more. It's on HYROX. So you did a
Mm,
HYROX in Vegas, I know, relatively recently.
mm-hmm.
It's the controversy of it is like, is it the new CrossFit or just another fitness fad? So it's been exploding with like the number of races going on all across the country. Um, and fans love the measurable challenge and community, while critics point to the high costs and the pressure to constantly compete and document your performance online. What can you speak to like what HYROX is and like what your thought? I mean, I would imagine your thoughts are positive on it since you did it, but I'm curious to see what you have to say.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of indifferent about it. Like I wanted to do it just to test it out, and having been in the fitness industry for so long, I always like to just try different things. But I think whoever the guys that created it were super smart, because what it did was take the same aspects of what was once so popular with CrossFit, and they made it even more accessible to more people and created this competitiveness around it. They could keep the same competitiveness as CrossFit, but then like include more people to do it because
Yeah.
the movements are less complex. And now you can do it, and they set it up to where, hey, you can do it with a friend, right? You can do it individually. You can pay and you can have no previous experience, and you can come straight in here and you can compete. And, it's showing all different skill levels, people with disabilities, like, so it's all encompassing. So I think they were super smart. They did two things really well that stand out to me. One of which is making it all inclusive, make it easily accessible for all skill levels, from entry level all the way up to pros and people getting paid for it. And then you can also, and they compete on the same floor too, right? That's pretty
Mm.
cool. It's like,
Yeah.
no matter what, age division group, whatever you're in, like you get to compete on the same floor as the pros did. Usually like they section you off and like, hey, you guys are scrubs, you go over here. It's like, no, you're using the same course, like everything. Obviously different weights and things like that. And some of the stuff is measured differently, but like, um, and then they also didn't change the movements each race, right? So the movements are always going to be the same. So you know exactly what to train for. So you can constantly see your progression if you're somebody who's training for something like that.
Yeah.
CrossFit's a little bit tougher, where it was like you got to kind of be ready for anything. So you got to be able to lift heavy, you got to be able to run. Your gymnastic skills got to be really good. You got to be ready for the unknowable, and like, so like you have to be ready for so many different things, which makes your training very like, you have to be either super structured or very varied in like everything that you do. With the HYROX, it's like, dude, we know the 8 movements. We know we have to run in between each one. Like, we get to have fun with training. Like, we know what the test is. We already have the answers to the test, and so now you just got to train for it.
Is it
So it's like,
consistent? Like every one, is it the same 8 movements? And what
yeah,
can you list those so that people know? I guess I didn't even know until you said you were doing it. I didn't even know what they
yeah.
were.
See if I can remember them. So it was so there's a run in between each movement. Basically, it starts with a run, right? So like, you do your run, then you come back and you do ski erg for, I think it's 1,000 meters, right? You
Okay.
go run. Then the next one was, oh man, I can't even remember, dude. But I'll just tell you all the movements. So it was ski erg. There was lunges, wall ball. You finish with wall balls. There's a farmer's carry, so a kettlebell farmer's carry. There's a sled push, a sled pull, a row. I think that's it right there. That's 8. So
Okay.
those are
Yeah.
all your different stations. Not in
What's
that
the
order,
in
but those are your
between? How
stations.
long's the run in between?
The run, I think, was 1,000 kilometers. So like the event that we did it at the MGM, it's a huge convention center, and you're essentially just doing two big laps around the perimeter. And then you come to the inside, and then they have all the stations numbered. So you go to a different state. They have like those, tunnel blimps that say, hey, station one, ski erg, go, here's all the ski ergs, so it was very straightforward. And they give you basically have an ankle monitor, and it tells you when you do your 2 laps, and then you come into what they call the rock zone. They have time splits for that too. So for like, from like when you came in from doing your run to your transition to go over to the ski erg, that's a
Mm.
specific time. So you're getting time for everything. So when you get penalized, because there's judges there, then they dock your score accordingly. And so, yeah, everything's tracked with an ankle monitor, just like a bib would be in like a run.
Yeah.
But it's very, dude, and like from a business standpoint, they were super smart too. They're like, we're running heats every 10 minutes, like every 10,
Mm.
15 minutes, right? So like, we might be sending out an elite group right now. Cool. 10 minutes goes by. This next group's already in the tunnel getting briefed on what they're supposed to do, with a clock counting down, with a
Yeah.
screen that everybody can see. That's just like, hey, we're going in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Here's one more last reminder of the rules. 10-second countdown, 3, 2, 1, go. Boom, that heat goes out. There's another 30 people. Then, you know what I mean? So it just keeps going, like, and they're doing that from like first thing in the morning to like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 p.m. in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Just,
Mm.
so
Yeah.
they're raking it in, dude. And I think it's good. I think it's good for people to train for something and know the answers. I think you completely remove the barbell, the complexity of the barbell, right? Which is probably CrossFit's biggest rap was that like, hey, people have no skill development, they've never touched a barbell before, and then we're taking them through these high complex movements and timing them and forcing them to lift under fatigue, and like so that's where it got a bad rap. Whereas
Well,
this is just like,
yeah,
yeah,
just do you can walk. Everybody can do sled pull. It's like super simple
super simple,
exercises.
super
Makes sense.
simple.
I like that you can do it as a team too. I think that's
Yeah,
really cool. Where a little bit more motivation, a little bit more of like a fun thing. You can actually like train together with somebody and like have a
exactly,
goal you're
exactly.
working towards. And I
Yeah,
think it's good too, where it's like you get these things like Spartan races, merit, like all of these kind of race type things. It's nice to have like an end goal to like push you to like prepare for something like this.
yeah, yeah. So it just took like all the pitfalls of I think the other things, and they were just like, how do we eliminate the things that people don't like or hate or have problems with, and then like simplify it. And dude, the more you simplify something, the more accessible it is to people. So then that's why it's blown up. I don't know how. Like I think eventually they're probably gonna have to change the movements up if they haven't thought about that or started doing that already. But like eventually there's got to be some sort of change, I think, to progress it because it's just riding a huge wave right now. And then eventually it'll just like everything, it'll just come back down like how
Yeah.
CrossFit did.
They have
But
different ones, like different this one, these are the movements here. Like you could just like sign
yeah,
like a few different ones where people could
yeah,
see.
like I could see them doing something like I don't know, maybe they could add in like instead of the farmer's carry, like an actual like D-ball or sandbag carry, big kind of
Yeah.
carry like that. Something that's still accessible to people, but like still tough. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many different movements you could still sprinkle in that are a lot less complex, like a single dumbbell movement, clean and jerk or a snatch or something like that, like that could be accessible to people. It's not super technical with a barbell. And it's light enough that people can do it under fatigue and just, even if your form's not great, like the chances of injuring yourself are not going to be as great as with, trying to push heavier weight with a barbell movement, under fatigue. So I think it's a lot less injury prone than some of the other stuff that's come out, which then again just increases its popularity too. So I think it's great. I think it's good for people. It's like you said, it's community driven. It has all the aspects that people loved with CrossFit, but just made it more accessible to people.
Yeah. I like
Yeah.
it, man. Yeah, I think it seems good. Something to look into as well. But hey, appreciate you guys. We'll wrap it up there. We got a few more things we can go through on the next pod for some current events. But thanks again for watching and listening. Make sure you subscribe, send this to somebody you like, and we will talk to you soon.